going on, guys? Welcome to Everything Always. My name is Michael Roman, aka Allfire. So this morning we have some brand new behind the scenes set photos of Avengers Doomsday, and coming from the very same source in Unbox PhD, who's been bringing them for the last 2 weeks or so. So obviously we're going to start with the most recent photos, talk about what they are and possibly where they are, and then we're going to work our way backwards through all of the leaks, because taken as a whole, they definitely paint a picture of what we're getting as a first act action sequence and going to include heroes and villains from at least 3 different timelines. We're breaking it all down, the latest set photo leaks for Avengers Doomsday and what they mean for the plot. But first, if you could grab the subscribe button. We do daily Marvel content at the channel, that's all we do. Thanks to everyone who's been subscribing. We've been growing again at a breakneck pace, and if you haven't already, I would just kindly invite you to do so. It's the #1 thing you can do to support us at the channel, plus it enters you for the giveaways. If you want, stick around at the end of the video, we get into all the giveaway stuff again there. Okay, so these leaks are coming from the account at Unbox PhD. You can follow him both on Twitter, and I've linked his YouTube channel down in the description box. He has had a ton of leaks over the last 2 weeks, and we're going to work our way backwards with the most recent. However, before we do, I'm going to issue our normal spoiler warning at the channel when we cover this kind of content. This is your last chance to back out if you're susceptible to this kind of thing, or it's in any way going to ruin your Avengers Doomsday experience, which definitely begs the question as to why you clicked on this in the first place. Either way, I ain't mad at you. Take a chance to leave now before we've jumped into the photos, and from this point out, you've been forewarned. Today's latest leaks saw some statues in a courtyard that had been revealed in previous leaks, and most of them are broken or intact. Now, I will admit, of all of them, this one right here certainly looks like a superhero of sorts if you just sort of hone in, not so much on the side purse, but the shoulder pads, and what looks like to me could be pigtails. So these could be famous heroes or influential heroes statued outside of the XMansion. Now, the reason that we think that this is the XMansion is that earlier last week, Unbox PhD also provided an amazing HD aerial shot of an outdoor set that they were filming at, which everybody noticed immediately really resembled the courtyard at the XMansion where we assume these statues are. Now, to double back, there is a comic panel from the 2015 Jonathan Hickman Secret Wars that shows God Emperor Doom standing in front of statues of both Stephen Strange and Owen Reese Molecule Man, and they are made out of stone. Also, don't bag on this photo. I actually took this of my own Secret Wars omnibus, but I don't think those are this, because A, they are much bigger. It's just the two of them, and that comes in a scene much deeper in the Secret Wars storyline where they're referring directly to what came before the current state of Battleworld as basically the ether. It's just a totally different scene in context than basically the opening of what we think is Avengers Doomsday. And keep in mind, what also predicates this scene is the death of Doctor Strange, and while I certainly think his days are numbered, I think he'll survive past Avengers Doomsday, and for the record, that won't be the last time we hear from him, even though he's dead, but certainly way too deep in the story of Secret Wars to be presenting that now in what we think might be the very first opening action sequence of Avengers Doomsday, in this huge Act 1 battle sequence where, for whatever reason we'll talk about in future videos, Doom has decided to invade whichever X-Men timeline this is. Speaking of which, one other huge set reveal that Unbox PhD revealed was that they're building a spaceship set adjacent to this courtyard, and even revealed the shape of what the spaceship will look like, and I think clearly situated right there between craters and lines that we see very clearly here in this HD aerial set photo. Now, could this be Dr. Doom's arrival spaceship to this location? Of course it could be, but I don't really think this looks like the normal Doom ship. Plus, we know he normally has some sort of tech. If he's actually traveling the multiverse, he might not need a spaceship at all if he has that kind of teleportation power. Also, we do think this is the XMansion, so it could be the X-Men ship, the Blackbird, but it's definitely not long enough in the front of the ship for that, unless they've purposely cut it off to say, you know, do practical for the back half of the ship and then CGI the rest. But the shape of the ship is wrong, including the wings at the back. It's certainly not the Blackbird, whatever ship it is. Other Eagle Eye Redditors went on to point out that this might actually be the spaceship from the Marvels, and that might make the most sense, because if Doom is actually invading the X-Mansion, and they've already confirmed that Kelsey Grammer is coming back as presumably the version of Beast we saw when we last left off the Marvels with Monica Rambeau in The Wrong Reality, the Marvels would most likely be looking for her and a way to get to her, which might conclude with them happening to end up at that X-Mansion at the same time that Doom invades. Now, admittedly, the only problem with this theory is that no one in the 616 has shown any proclivity for understanding how to navigate the multiverse at will. It's not as though they have the technology to just hop on their ship and fly to to wherever timeline they need to. However, in the absence of that technology or understanding, we do have America Chavez, who's going to pretty quickly educate everybody who at least cares about what the multiverse is, or at least educate Wong and Doctor Strange to disseminate that information. And if they realize that Monica Rambeau is in a different part of the multiverse, and through just a couple of characters talking to each other, America Chavez may have the means to just take them to wherever she is and retrieve her, and then enter the Doctor Doom of it all, which may end up following them back to the 616. Now, this is just one set reveal of all of Avengers Doomsday, and there are no actors on set, obviously, in any of these photos. But I think this might reveal exactly why Marvel Studios chose the specific names they did and the X-Men that they did, because they're shooting this right now outside, knowing that people are probably going to get some set photos of these actors once they start appearing on set. And no, I don't mean the fake AI photos that we were covering of Cyclops and Magneto that were pretty clearly fake from the day that they were leaked, and whoever leaked them tried so hard to show different angles of the same photo, which is again just a feature of AI. I'm talking about actual aerial shots, which again are legal because they're taken outside. That's why we're able to show these and why people are able to get them, and that's also why the Marvel Studios and other studios of the world shoot the important stuff inside on sound stages to avoid these type of leaks. However, they're going to be able to get some of these actors on set. That's why I think Marvel Studios again revealed all actors they needed to, so that it wasn't a huge exclusive when we started seeing some people like Alan Cumming and eventually James Marsden and Ian McKellen for real, and probably on this set and coming up very shortly. I can't wait for that. Guys, let me know all your thoughts though down below about any and all of this. If you have any different theories on what spaceship that is, what statues these may be, and if you don't think that this is the XMansion, what location you got. I am all ears as always. Quickly, let's get into the giveaway stuff before I let you go. Alright, we are giving away PlayStation 5s at the channel. In fact, we just announced 3 new winners earlier last week. If you want to be entered to win or for any of the other future giveaways at the channel, all the same rules will always apply. Hit the subscribe button because you need to be a subscriber, then leave a comment down below. Because it's truly random, the more videos you comment on, the better chance you have of winning. All winners will be announced at the end of videos in the same way we're doing here, live with my voice and the winning comment shown on screen. So, please be safe and vigilant on my platform, really any channel with giveaways, and if you should ever get a spam comment with someone pretending to be a content creator, keep in mind no one will ever charge you for shipping. It's just a scam. Report those comments directly to YouTube. They're very good and very fast about deleting them. You're doing everyone on YouTube a huge service by getting rid of the spam. The best way to keep up with the content has always been to hit the notification bell with all notifications turned on, and as always, if you like today's video, I'd appreciate it if you'd hit the like button. My name's Michael Roman. You can find me in a couple of places, Instagram and Twitter at I'mFires. You can also find me on Spotify, YouTube, Amazon, Apple, iTunes, under the name AllFires. And while I would sincerely appreciate you checking my music out, thanks for checking this channel out. Stick around. We'll be posting again real soon.